Hey, superhero, perfect spirit. I'm Sam the Miracle Man, and this is Super Soul Sunday. Today, we'll be talking about medical emergencies. So, I'm just waiting for some people to jump in here live. So, if you're new to my channel, new to my message, if you will, I hope you'll get rid of that worry, the stress, the fears, all that stress, all that overwhelm. We need to throw that out and really tap into our perfect spirit, the consciousness, that superhero within us. So people are just joining, will be joining here soon. It's out there now. So today I'm going to be talking about medical emergencies. So I see some people joining in here. So today is about medical emergencies. Sometimes when we wake up in the middle of the night and we just don't feel good, we have a bad headache, the stomach is acting up, something is going on. Or maybe in my case, I was at work one day, had the worst headache of my life. I really didn't know what to do at that point, and that worst headache of my life turned out to be, multiple sclerosis. After all said and done, after 3 weeks in the hospital. But we always get into these medical emergencies, but we're not quite sure what to do and how to do it. So I don't have my phone on me, unfortunately. So I see a hi Sam as Facebook user. I'm not sure who that is. So hello. And Dowie, hello, thanks for watching today. So let's talk about what happens. Maybe if there's an immediate medical emergency and we can't delay, we have to go take action, we have to go see the doctor, we have to go to emergency room. So if you're like having like a stroke, a heart attack, you don't want to do these kind of practices that we're talking about today. We want to take immediate action on those cases that sometimes we need that outside world to give us help, to give us assistance. But I'm talking about the cases where you're waking up and you have a really bad headache, your stomach feels bad, just something feels really off with the body. That's what I want to really address with these medical emergencies. So something like if it's a deathbed decision, then you go to the ER, you go to the hospital, you get help right away. But if it doesn't feel like a life or death situation, but something is just wrong, then what do you do in those cases? Because notice how the mind wants to react right away, just wants to react. Let's go do that. Let's go do this. But the mind is just guessing, making the best educated guess here. So it's really realizing the mind is making the best educated guess, but there's something within you that is knows. And I think it was really interesting, when Ike was speaking recently. He said, when you tell people that you're thinking about, people point to the head. But if you say, I know, people generally point to their heart, that this is the place of knowing within us. This heart is the place of knowing. So it's really about learning to have a practice so you can hear your own wisdom. And this is what I'm really stressing with head trash, that we want to learn these practices before we need them. Because when you're in the midst of a crisis, a problem, a situation, it's hard to quiet that mind. The mind's off on its own little tangent, and you can't really get yourself back into hearing your own true self. So it's really about, okay, how do I hear my own wisdom? So if you wake up with a headache, a stomach ache, and it's not life or death, then we have to learn to sit quietly and see what rises up for us. What's the best way to mend this, to take care of this? Maybe to I don't even like the word heal because it has a lot of head trash in there, but really to heal this situation. So it's about relaxing. And what I always do is I give a little talk, but then I actually do a physical practice. Because talking is one thing, but until you have that state of practice, then you enter a state of knowing. It's no longer a theory. So after this little practice I'm going to do today for about 5 minutes of clearing the head trash, then I'm going to talk about, then I'm going to do another practice after that because I realized I don't have any other practices. Because I got a message from someone saying they just got their second jab and they just had these horrible side effects. What should they do? Well, I have a practice for that, and I'm going to do that today. It reminds me of a practice that I did for leukemia one time, and like removing the impurities in the bloodstream. How do we do that? How do we remove these impurities in the bloodstream? So we're going to do that kind of meditation today. But today I'm going to talk about, when you can wait, when you have a medical situation that's not right here, right now, that you have to address right this second, like a heart attack, broken bone, an accident, then if you have some time, this is the practice to do so you can tune into your own perfect spirit, your own superhero, finding your own way forward. Because ultimately, you live in your body. You know what's best for you. Others are making their best educated guess what's best for you. But until you sit and get your own wisdom, then you know. So we're going to dive into this first practice here. And then we're going to, dive into the second practice about clearing the impurities in the bloodstream, and this would actually work for like viruses, bacteria that are in the body as well. This would work. It's like a foreign invader in the body, like a toxic element, an element that's not supportive, and we'll dive that into that second part of. So I'm going to do a 5 minute just to hear our own wisdom, and this goes for anything in life. It doesn't be a medical emergency, an illness. It could be you have a bill and you don't know how to pay it. Your car broke down and you don't know what to do. A relationship is going south. A job is going south, going away. You find yourself unemployed. But we want to get to the state of like guessing. We want to get into a state of knowing. So this practice is good for all those kind of areas. So let's dive into that now. We're just sitting here relaxing. There's no way to sit, hold your hands, or breathe. We simply close the eyes to remove the external stimulations, to let it all drop away. Whatever happened an hour ago, the last day, the last week, doesn't matter. We're not allowing that power right here, right now, because all of our power is right here. So we simply relax, close the eyes, and we simply come into this state of relaxation. So when the mind goes off into the stories, thinking about what happened in the past, or guessing what's going to happen tomorrow, or the next hour, or the next two, we don't know for certain. So we just let that go. And the past, the mind is constantly dragging the past into the present. So when we notice the mind going into the story, into the past, into the fantasy, we simply come back to this moment without judging ourselves, without criticizing ourselves. We just notice, oh, there goes the mind story. Where are my feet? Where are my hands? Where's my breath? What do I hear? We notice the story and we simply come back. And we want to do this for maybe 2 minutes a day, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. We just want to do it to the point where we're aware of the thoughts and we come back to this moment. When you find yourself, you're completely lost in thoughts and you cannot get yourself back, then you get up and you do something different. You don't force yourself to be aware. That will actually strengthen the story and make it stronger, those thoughts. So if you could only do it once or twice in 5 minutes, that's perfect. It will get easier as time progresses. This is a new skill. So we can't expect to be a master of a new skill. Even though this sounds very simple, the mind makes it very difficult, makes the stories more enticing, the dreams more enticing, the fantasy. And the mind cannot tell the difference between reality and fantasy. So maybe if sitting, relaxing doesn't work for you, then you change the practice to a walking mindfulness practice. So when you're walking around, touch objects once in a while and notice them. Door handle, hot, cold, rough, smooth. Little things like that. Because you can either be in the thoughts, in the story, or engaged in this moment. We have to realize all of our power is right here, right now. So when we're facing any difficult situation, any challenge, whether it's a medical health issue, finances, relationships, careers. We simply want to get back into this moment and get out of the story, the attachment to that trigger. Maybe something within you is being triggered. You're seeing someone that triggers you. So you want to just sit quietly and see why that's triggering you. And something interesting happens when you're sitting in peace. A wisdom arises, your instincts, a knowing. You simply know that this is your path, that you must go do this or that. And the way we discern the mental voice gives you excuses, gives you stories, gives you reasons. Drink water to keep you hydrated. Spirit will say, just drink water. Go look here. Go to Indeed. Read that. Watch this. No explanation. Spirit does not give explanations, just simple instructions. And it's not demanding that you do these things either. Spirit is very gentle. Do this, do that. No demanding, no must do's, just suggestions. But that is the way. The mind is demanding. You must do it this way. You must watch this. You must do this. It's that all those to do's. The mind is always that you should do this, you must do this. We let go of all those shoulds, all those must do's, and we simply relax coming into this moment. And when you're here in this moment, this is where all your power is. And then we simply act from this wisdom. So we're just going to come out of this practice now before we enter the second practice. So we want to open our eyes, maybe stretch, take a breath. And then we're going to do something a little bit different based on that message that I received earlier. So someone got the second jab and they're having really bad side effects the day after. This could be for anything. It could be, maybe you're diagnosed with like leukemia, some kind of bloodborne illness, a virus in the body, bacteria, but it's using the bloodstream as a means to impact the body, to get the disease throughout the body, the cancer throughout the body. It's using the bloodstream. So this is for bloodstream ailments, diseases. So we're going to dive into this practice here for these bloodborne problems, issues, concerns. So this one will be less about 10 minutes, I guess, for this practice. I don't know what's going to happen. I simply get the mind out of the way and just allow spirit to guide. For spirit, your soul always knows the way. And even if you watch this a year from now, 5 years from now, it's still effective because it's coming from the one perfect spirit, the one soul. We're many expressions of this one soul. This one soul is all that is. It is that place of knowing. So we're just sitting here relaxing. Nothing to do, nothing to accomplish. So we realize the divine love within us connects to the divine love of the universe. That this love is one. It's a state of oneness with this love. That we let go of the mind of separation, of division, of us versus them, and simply declare that we are one with the one, that we are in the place of universal love, where all things are known. So now we see the body. We're just relaxing. We just become aware of the body, of the blood running through the body. And we also want to be mindful of not being so attached to the body, like my body, my bloodstream, my blood. We want to let go of that attachment. Because in truth, the only thing that's real, permanent, is consciousness, is energy. This body is simply our vessel for this experience. And the blood keeps this vessel alive, along with the oxygen, the water, the foods we consume. So we're just relaxing here in spirit, knowing that we have a body. This body is our tool, our vessel to explore the world, to have the experience as a human. So now we're sitting here in a place of love, an observer of this body. So if this is helpful, see the body sitting here. Now feel your soul rise up above the body, above and out. So you're about 2 feet away from the body, maybe 3 feet, and you're up and you're looking down at your body. And you feel this deep love for your body. And you allow the mind to relax within the body. It's almost like you're above it, and you're just putting your hands above the head. Just like almost like you're polishing, you're cleaning the surface of all of that noise, all those distractions. Now you see this white light coming down from the heavens onto this polishing cloth, if you will, polishing the mind of all those thoughts that are not supportive, that are not conducive to good health, or good relationships, good career, money, abundance. We clear all the thoughts of that. Then we remove this rag, this polishing tool, and we just allow this light to descend into the body, this white light with this golden energy mixed within this light. If other colors feel important to you, use those colors. You're ultimately the master of this body. So we're just seeing this light just slowly descending down the body. It's descending now into the heart space. And now it's starting to enter into the bloodstream. See this light entering into the heart, a direct connection. And this light is then going into the bloodstream. And you just feel the heat, the aliveness of this grace pouring through the bloodstream. It's going through the bloodstream now, almost like a purifying effect. It's looking for all that disease, all that heaviness, all that black junk. Where there is this light, darkness cannot exist. So all this virus, bacteria, medicine, whatever we want to call it, it's darkness. It's not from the light. So this light is the highest energy of the universe, for it comes from all that is. This grace, this divine love becomes a unifying force. So just feel it coursing through the body. So you feel it going up into the neck, the brain, seeing all those blood vessels in the brain being purified, being cleared of debris, of junk, any kind of disease of the brain, cancers, whatever it may be, toxic thoughts, poisoning the environment. See them being washed away and cleared from the level of the blood, going into those areas, nurturing those cells in that area with this pure light, this pure oxygen. And see that light affecting the brain in any way that makes sense to you. That you're the ultimate master of this body. And why that's energy's moving in that space. Now you watch the blood moving into the neck, the throat area, clearing up any throat issues, Maybe it's pouring into the lungs for any respiratory, breathing issues. You see the blood going through the shoulders, the arms, the fingers. And you just see this glowing white light with golden energy moving through the bloodstream. But we remind you it can be any color that resonates with you, pink, green, blue. There's no rules. It can be red. It can be any color. Any color that feels uplifting and supportive, that has an illuminance to it, a light to it, a frequency, a vibration of that light. So then we just see it pouring through the organs, the heart, the kidneys, the stomach, the pancreas. Just see the blood just pouring through all these areas, your hips, your reproductive organs, down the legs. Just seeing this whole body infused now and through your toes, from your fingertips to your toes, to the top of your head, is all effused from the inside out, glowing this white and gold energy. Because it's going through all the capillaries, all the small veins. Almost feels like the body is illuminating. And just notice where the body feels discomfort. We just see, put some attention there to bring in some extra light. And we keep giving that our attention. We just keep feeling that love move through there, dissolving those areas. And we don't demand that pain, the discomfort to go away. We let it be. We just keep sending this love into it. We don't want to focus on the pain, the discomfort. We just want to focus on sending love. We don't want to focus things that we do not wish, that we do not desire. So we focus on those that we want, we wish, we desire. The love, the peace into those areas. For love and peace are the true energies of transformation. Not by demanding, not by insisting. We just send love. And we just trust the body knows how to take care of. The body knows how to self-correct. We're just letting go of this stuckness, the stuck energy. So if there's an ailment, something doesn't feel right, it's just simply stuck energy. So we allow this energy to course through it. And remember, you're the master of your domain. This domain right now is the human body. The brain, the fingertips, the toes, the knees, the legs. We give thanks to all these parts of the body. And we send love, appreciation into those areas. Never focusing on what's wrong with those areas. Just simply love and peace into that. Now this body has this excess energy, this debris, this old stuff that needs to be purged. So now out your feet, you have these roots going down into the earth. Just these very deep roots. And now you see this dirty light, if you will, this heaviness, this junk going out into the roots, back into Mother Earth, taking all this from you. It almost feels like the roots have a vacuum system and they're just sucking all this debris, all this stuck energy out from your feet. You're just feeling yourself lighter and lighter as all this stuck energy gets removed from the body. And we're setting the intention as this divine light runs through the body. It mends the DNA that's given false instructions, false ways of behaving, turning off all the genes that are not supporting us, not sustaining the body. We can say we don't need this lesson of pain anymore, this suffering, this discomfort. So just sending love to all my DNA, all my cells, sending light into each cell, sending love and peace into each cell, which purifies each cell. And the cells that cannot be purified are they're the invaders, if you will, not natural to the body. We send them down to our root system, back to the earth, back to where they come. They are not here supporting and sustaining you. Everything that does not support and sustain must go away, back to the earth. And we are also one with this earth. So we thank the earth for taking this from us, taking these burdens, taking this heaviness, finding that joy, that peace here in this moment. So I just want to sit for a moment and let this energy settle. And it feels like there's a purple energy descending down from the heavens, from the ceiling, from the sky, surrounding the body, wrapping it in this purple energy of love, of healing, sealing in all the work that was done today. And this very simple practice of being your own master of your domain, being your own alchemist, by determining the qualities, the color of your light that is perfect for you. For you live in this body. You know it the best. We simply let go of that guessing mind and tap into the state of knowing, connected to all that is. As we come back into this body, open up our eyes and realize I'm alive. Everything is possible. Everything is available to me right here, right now. That there are no mistakes. Everything is simply a feedback to get me attention, to pay attention to what I need. So if things are going wrong in your life, it's simply getting your attention. Hey, there's another way to go. And pain is an indicator of that as well, that you're going the wrong direction, that there's another way, a way within you to take care of, to mend. I just want to see what message is coming through the cards, and we'll open it up for some questions and make observations. Okay, let's tune in here to the messages for today with this. Oh, love it. Perfect message here. The fear's coming from the mind, the stories saying this will not work, this doesn't work, whatever it is, there's fear that you can't do this. That's nonsense. You have the energy within you. You are one with all that is. These two go perfectly. You need to simply find your path inward to find your strength. So the cards really is fears coming from the mind. Go within to find your strength, to find your knowing, find your solution. The solution is there. It's simply the mind forgets. So I'm here if there's any questions, any concerns. Hopefully that was helpful today, something a little different. We just want to keep coming back. And maybe listen to your insights. Maybe with all that clearing work, maybe you're feeling you need to drink a lot of water today. Maybe it's root vegetables. Whatever it is, don't second guess your own wisdom. Just honor the body and honor your own knowing, your own wisdom. I'm not seeing any questions right now, which is fine. We can be at peace. Peace is the perfect place to be. Be happy, be joyful, celebrating life. So welcome to all those that are watching. I'm just here for any questions. We did 2 powerful practices today. You might be really blissed out from this, realizing you are perfect spirit. You are not the body. The body is your tool. Yeah, so that's a good point. When we're facing a medical emergency, maybe a loved one is dealing with something. So you get them the help, but then you're sitting in the waiting room possibly, and you're in a state of panic, of worry. That's the place where that's the mind operating. Then if you're in a waiting room, then you take that 1 minute practice, 2 minute practice, bring yourself back into this moment and just letting go of the stories and realize they too are the perfect spirit and they will be okay. But it's about relaxing and getting in that state of knowing. You can either be panicked or in a state of knowing. And when you're in a state of knowing, you simply know that all is well and that mind is creating false fears, creating panic, creating worry. And that's not a supportive energy to project to your loved one. So it's really helpful if you're in a place of peace, of knowing, of just sending them love, that we have that energy within us to heal people, to help people, that we're not actually physically seeing or touching. If we send that love and peace to them, it's very beneficial, it's very helpful. It's like people praying for someone. It's a very helpful, positive, uplifting energy. So we want to be in that space of worry is most likely going to help lock that in for your loved one. But if you send that love, that peace to them, that will help loosen it up. But if you're in a worry keeps things stuck. So you have to realize it's a fear state. We just have to go back to the place of peace and love, and it really creates miracles. I share a story once in a while that someone I knew was in the emergency room, and I heard from the front desk, that they would be moved up to the ICU later, and that I could come back the next day and see them in the ICU. Well, when they were being back there being worked on in the emergency room, I sat in a waiting room for maybe, I don't know, half hour, just sitting there, just sending peace and love to them, really getting into the deep, deep place of just sending them peace and love. So when I came back the next day, they weren't in the ICU. They were in a regular room, like nothing happened. They made a miraculous recovery. Because so focused on peace and love, not focused on the outcome. That's important, not to focus on the outcome, just peace and love in this moment. That's the best we can do. So there's a Facebook user in the Head Trash Anonymous group. I don't see your name. I don't have my phone here on me to look to see who it is. So I'm glad it was helpful, because we have to realize we are the alchemists. We are the master of this body, of this life, that we have infinite power and possibilities within us. It's simply this mind and fear of lack, of whatever, of nonsense. Throw that out and tap into who we truly are. And then we'll see that life will just turn around and we can create miracles for others as well if we're not focused on the outcome. That's very important, not to focus on the outcome, is to focus in this moment, peace and love. Outcome is a mind projection. We want to be out of the mind and be in a place of knowing that all is well. All right, I see a few people watching. I'm not seeing any questions though, so maybe it'll be the end for today. And I'll be back next Sunday. Yeah, so glad you found that useful, Dowie. Yep. Hmm. Well, just feel the peace that's always here. It's always beckoning you home. This peace, this is home. Worry, stress, fear is not your home. It's a foreign land that your spirit knows nothing of. Simply say, hey, come back home. Be at peace. Be content. Be joyful, happy, celebrating life. Okay, one last card for the day, then I'm heading out. Let's see what the last card is. Hopefully it's something that's one card, or did I pull something else out? Nope, perfect card for today. The Dancer of Inspiration. Inspiration comes from inspire and spirit. It's telling you to dance with your spirit because that is the real you. All things are possible there. Take good care of yourself. I will